This tutorial I'll be showing you how to do these half up fishtails. I did curl my hair with a curling wand to get these curls. You really can part it whichever way you want. I just had mine on a deep part. So I started on that side, and a couple inches back I separated this huge chunk of hair, and the rest of the hair you're just going to pull it back, clip it just so it's out of the way. And we're going to do a fishtail braid. So you part your hair into two chunks, and I was just making sure I had no tangles, and you get an outer sliver of the hair and just combine it to the, in this case, my left hand chunk of hair. And again, you grab a slither from the outside and combine it to the right side, and you're just doing that all the way down. So grab a little slice of hair and you're putting it over. So the size or the width of the hair strands that you do choose to incorporate into the other side is completely up to you. I think at the end when you're pulling it out, as we're going to do, it looks better to kind of have sometimes thin slices, sometimes thicker. I like to do it unevenly, that way it kind of gives it that inconsistent, messy, boho-ish look. Of course you could do it neatly, but it's all up to you. So for the pancaking part, or pulling out part, I didn't braid it all the way to the bottom. I stopped midway. It just makes it easier to be able to pull it out and have it loose. And my placement of my hand looks awkward, but it's just for the sake of you being able to see it. So you're just pulling on every single curve, and you're starting from the area closest to your hand. That way you're able to make it loose, so at the top you're not struggling to pull it out. And I like to do one side first and then the other side. The friction of how tight you're pulling onto the braid really helps to be able to keep the structure of the whole braid. So you want to make sure to kind of tug on that pretty tight. And then you're going to go ahead and just continue fishtailing all the way down. So before I tie it out with the rubber band, I am going to pancake it out again. It definitely makes it easier, otherwise afterwards you're going to be struggling with the elastic on it. And the elastic that I use is just the little black one. I don't know if you saw it around my fingers. And I tie it a couple of times to keep it tight. And for the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Separate a couple inches out of your hair and just tie or clip the back part of your hair just so it doesn't fall into your braid that you're going to be doing. And we'll just be doing the same thing that we did on the other side. So you're just going to divide this chunk of hair into two. And for just a regular fishtail, you will separate small slivers of hair from the outside and combine it onto the other hand. So I'll start with the right, grab a small chunk, add it to the left hand, small chunk from the left, and add it onto the right. And you are going over, it's not underneath. It is important to angle your braid in the direction that you'll be pinning it back. So in this instance, you're gonna pin it towards the back of your hair, so you don't want to angle it just downwards as if it was pigtails going in front of your shoulders. way again, we are going to stop the braiding and pancake out the braid, starting from the end that's closest to our finger that's holding it, making sure we're holding it really tight, and then just pulling it upwards. And it's easier for me if I just do one side first and the other side. That way I don't have to keep crossing my braid from the left hand and then back to the right. So once it's pancaked out just the way that you want it, you're going to continue the fishtail braiding all the way down to the bottom, and right before we tie it off with elastic, we'll just pancake up the rest of the braid again. Those two braids out of the way, we're going to gather just the top portion of your hair in the back, and to give it a little bit of a bump, you're just going to push it up. That's really all you're doing. You're not teasing it. And I believe that I used 3 bobby pins just to make sure it was secure. This part's going to be hidden anyway, so if you have thicker hair and you need to place 7 bobby pins, you won't really be able to see it since the 2 fishtails will be covering it. So after this 3rd bobby pin that I placed here, I do tug on that little bump a little bit just because in the process of pinning it, I may have deflated it. And then whichever side you prefer, you're going to grab one of those fishtail locks and you're going to wrap it around where those bobby pins were. And for the end, so that you don't see the elastic, I just fold it underneath the braid and pin it with however many bobby pins you need. I think I just needed 1 on this side. And then you're going to grab the other side, wrap it right on top of that first fishtail braid. And again, so that you don't see the elastic, you're folding the elastic underneath the end of the braid, and you're just going to pin it right there. All done with this half up fishtail look. Hope you liked it, and thank you for watching.